Hey guys, welcome to Adventure Camping again. This is Tactical Nut at the beginning of a day hike out in Crowder's Mountain again. But this time I'm going for some distance. I don't have Baby Glock with me today, so I can hike a whole lot faster than I normally do, because at any time with a child, know their limits and be willing to stop when they need to in order to keep them well rested and encouraged to go on. But since I'm by myself, I can actually get moving. This won't be as much a sightseeing tour as it is for just some good exercise. But when the times are right, I'll stop and show you what I'm looking at. In the meantime, beginning part of this hike is going to be the same part that we took you on last time when me and Baby Glock were out here camping and hiking with my brother, Army Dude. So I won't show as much as that because, well, you've already seen it. But as soon as I get past that point, because that trailhead for the campsite and the views was only a couple miles out, so once I get past those, I'll resume filming and let you see some new stuff. In the meantime, here's kind of the path I will be taking. As you can see, we're right here. Last time we went to here, that's where all the views and stuff were. The campsites were back here. But I'm going to continue on down this way. And yes, even though I've been out here multiple times, I know the place pretty well. Everything is very clearly marked and easy to follow. I still, as always, grab a map just in case. It's all part of that being prepared thing. All I brought with me was some pretty light supplies, just some trail mix, a poncho, because it is a little overcast. I don't expect it to rain, but rather have it, not need it. Hydration pack and just a few other little essentials, some small first aid stuff or whatever. But in the meantime, hope you follow along. Hope you enjoy the views as much as I'll enjoy hiking them. And I'll get back to you in just a little bit when I've gotten to some new spots for you to look at. Alright, here we go. Okay guys, just a couple minutes ago I passed the point where we went uphill, climbed up the rocks to go see the really cool views last time I was here. So now I'm starting on a different trail, the one that goes a lot further out. It's called the Ridgeline Trail. It was about 35 minutes to do the 2 miles, mostly uphill. So I wanted to point out one of the things that I was teaching Baby Glock last time that I think is very important to know. And that thing is how fast you walk and how fast you can make it from one point to another. One reason, I've always wanted to watch, I love watches, kind of a watch fanatic a little bit, but one of the reasons why when you're in the outdoors it's important to carry a watch is so that you know how long you've been walking. That way you can learn to time yourself, how long it takes to get from one location to another, but also learning how long it takes to get from one point to another over different types of terrain. Like on the way up here, it's pretty mountainous, pretty rocky, lots of roots, so it's typically going to slow you down a decent amount. But one of the things I showed Baby Glock the last time we were up, after we had set up camp and we just started doing a lot of hiking on our own without filming, was that I'd point out a place to a map and say, okay, we're going to go here, so this distance. And I would ask her, how long do you think it's going to take for us to get from where we are now to where we're going? She would give me a time, which was, no fault of her own, just a quick guess. I haven't really worked with her at all on this, so this was kind of my way of teaching. And so she would give me a guess, and then I would tell her what I would think. We would walk that distance, and pretty much to the minute, I would be right. And she was kind of fascinated by that, that I could be that accurate, but at the same time, I know my walking pace. I know my walking pace with her because I always carry a watch while I'm out. Now, your type of watch you might want to carry, it's all dependent on you. Don't rely on your cell phone. Cell phones die, they drop, they get broken. But getting a decent watch, this one that I have here, I'll show you. Real cheapo. Got it from Academy of Sports, but it's water and shock resistant because, well, for some reason I'm really hard on watches. I broke a Luminox. Those watches are meant for military, special forces, federal law enforcement like DEA, Border Patrol. Then I had a Swiss watch that, I guess it broke it too. So I went digital because, you know, all those watches had hands on them. So far, this one's held up well. Using it for, well, I bought it last summer, so close to a year. But I'm always able to know how long it's taking me to get from one place to another. So if you're ever lost, and this is what becomes really important, is that if you have your map, because you always should, wherever you're going, if you know I have, 2-3 miles, however far to go, you know about how long it should take you to get there. So if 3 hours later you haven't arrived at your destination, you now know I either went the wrong way, or more than likely you went the wrong way, because if you should have been there in an hour and it's been 3, well, now time to reevaluate, and you should have been checking your map anyway. But give you a view of where I'm going now. This part, since I'm along the top of the mountain, is a lot flatter. Still some cool area though, I will give it that. But as you can see, still really rocky, a lot of roots. But I mean, it's a great day to be out here. I mean, it's overcast, so it's not real hot. I mean, I do live in the south, so it is typically pretty humid, but it's overcast, so it's real nice out today. The only reason why I'm really sweating now is just because of the speed I've been walking. But as I go along, I'm going to give some tips about my advice for hiking, either long distance or just day hikes and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll help you learn some stuff. If you haven't done it much or you haven't done it at all, hopefully I can give you some really good pointers to make it better, more enjoyable for you. For the moment, as you can see, it gets really rocky right up here. May try to find a spot where I can sit for a minute and have some good views for you. I didn't want to go back to the same place I did last time, since I already showed the views of the skyline and all that. I want to give some little variety to my videos. So give me just a few minutes and hopefully show you some really cool stuff. You can see out that way. Well, maybe you can't on camera. Let's try. It's real cloudy out that way. Oops, wrong way. There's a cool looking rock formation. Alright, well, let me check this out. I'll get back to you. Alright, so I know I said I was going to wait a few minutes, but I lied. Wanted to show you this kind of area right here. It was kind of cool. Obviously I have to watch where I'm walking at the same time, but areas like this I just find fascinating. These rock groups with trails. They're really cool. Oh, out that way. See off the side of the mountain. Let me go back. There's a city right out that way. See, I love being out here. And I'll tell you what's really cool about coming out here. Pretty interesting. Not real far down there, maybe 30 feet. But passing people out here, it's incredible the number of people you will hear when you're just saying, hello, how you doing? And they're always like, awesome, I'm outdoors. And you'll hear it constantly when you're out walking and hiking these areas. So it's kind of cool because that's exactly how I feel when I'm out here. But all right, just kind of trees. I'll stop and show you that part. All right, so here's kind of a cool area. I'm headed down slope for a little ways. It was kind of funny because I had a dude just run past me that was running the opposite way when I was coming up. So he is making some really good time. I don't know where he stopped and turned around, but he appears at the rate at which he was moving to be in some really good shape. You know, I just got to say one thing. I don't see how people could not enjoy doing this. It's just really cool. Alright, so first tip of hiking, whether day hiking or long distance, like backpacking or something like that, first thing you need to get are really good shoes. Right now I'm wearing the Merrells that I've reviewed. They're, no, sorry, I turned it off. They're outstanding, but they can be kind of expensive. Like these were like $130. They've got shoes that go up to several hundred if you want. Those are more your high top boots for hardcore hiking or even a little cold. But most everything I review on my show is always, I won't say cheap, I will say fairly inexpensive, because I do a lot of research. I know what the gear is made out of, and I know it's going to hold up to do whatever I need to do. But shoes is not the area you want to skip, because if your feet are hurting, you're not going to want to go anywhere. As you can see, I'm going to keep bobbing up and down a lot on the camera because where I'm going, the stairway kind of. With Davy Glock's shoes, we bought her a pair of Redhead waterproof boots. Those are like Bass Pro Shops brand, I guess. And they held up out. They've been holding up extremely well. The waterproofing is excellent. But the only problem is that to her, they're heavy. No, spent like $50 on them, and for kids' shoes, that's a pretty decent price. But I've told her that, yeah, we're gonna save up a little bit and get her some. Sorry, they'll be lighter weight for her, so yeah, they'll be more expensive, but they'll be worth it for her. Tennis shoes in this environment, highly unrecommended. The soles are too soft, and if you're walking over ground that looks like this all the time, if you don't have hard soles on your shoes, your feet are going to be killing you in no time at all, especially if you have weight on your back. So shoes, number one thing. Number two, always get a map of where you're going. If you go to any national park, state park, stuff like that, any tourist destination, you can definitely find very easily and very inexpensive maps for that area. Always get one. Compass, another good thing to go with your map. But also know the trail you're going to be walking on. Like this one, as you see, it's marked with a red triangle blaze. That way, as long as you're on the trail, you see the red triangle blaze, you're going in the right direction. 3, water. Take plenty of water. That's why I love these hydration packs like the one I'm wearing now, because you can carry a lot. And if you run out, you find a stream, a pond, or whatever kind of water source, you can fill up with a whole bunch more water. And obviously, fourth, not necessarily in order of importance, but some way of starting a fire and or, I would just say, and purifying water. Because if you can start a fire, you can purify water. But I always carry some type of filtration system as well. I have a life straw, and this But I also have a couple different ways of starting fire, so shouldn't even have to use it. It's just a day hike, but if it was, you got lost and somehow found yourself in a survival situation, yeah, good to have backups. So that's the first few pointers. Oh yeah, and to go along with having a map and the few basic supplies, first aid, some type of first aid. A little is better than none, but when you add in those together, tell people where you're going, tell them when you plan on leaving, what trails you're going to take, so that way if you're not back at a specific time, they know to start looking, start calling, whatever it needs to be done from that point on. Because what if your cell phone battery died and that's what you were relying on to communicate with others? Well, if that time passes, they know, hey, something's up. It's either taking them a little bit longer or they're lost. So, and then of course, always having backups. Now when it comes to hiking, camping, anything like that, the saying goes, especially, I believe it was probably derived out of the military, was that ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain, right? So you don't want to carry too much gear, but you want to make sure you carry enough. Oh look, another warning sign. Busy road crossing, please use caution. Apparently I'm not supposed to go sprinting out here without looking because there's cars. Pretty sure I can figure that out on my own, but you always have a couple of idiots that can't. So right, so we're going to another part of the trail. As you see here, if I kept going straight ahead, it was a private driveway, so I have to come down this way to the Ridgeline Trail, which is what I'll be taking. So make sure you're carrying enough gear, even if it's a day hike. Just a day hike, you're only going to go out for a few hours. You need your water, you need some first aid, you need ways of starting fire, and potentially some type of cover or shelter. Like I have a poncho with me. Whether it was overcast or not, it would be with me because they could make great shelters. Or I won't say great shelter, it can make a good survival shelter if you need it. Or just keep you dry if it's raining. I mean, those are like the absolute minimum, because if you're carrying water, you have a container so that if you run out of water, you can refill it. You can always find ways of cooking without a container. You can't really purify water without one unless you have a filter of some sort. But for now, those are just a few absolute simplest basics that you should have when you leave your house to go out into the woods. Oh, sorry. The next most important, like this I just have today, and it's not my favorite by any means, but the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife. You need some way of cutting stuff. Even for those people that are not big on carrying knives, which I have no idea why, that is the best multifunctional tool you could ever own. I have 4 on me right now. The Bear Grylls, the new Emerson Kershaw Wave, or the CQC 6K. Just got yesterday. I got that 511 Born for Duty, the Schrade SCH 107. So, and no matter what happens, I can cut some. But a couple of the knives are for testing and review purposes, but I usually have 2 to 3 anyway. So, moved on to the trail. As I was saying, have some way of cutting stuff. It helps you procure food, procure fire starting materials. It can help you build a shelter. It can help you start a fire. And there's so many uses. Help you dig, help you pry stuff open. Even if you don't like carrying knives, carry a multi-tool that has at least 2 knives on it. A large blade and a smaller backup. Doesn't matter. have something. Oh wow, and I keep getting to more and more stuff. Sorry, cordage. At least a survival bracelet. Some type of paracord. You have your shoelaces you could use. I mean, if I really had to, I could use the straw from my hydration pack, the strings from my poncho, vines. But always have some kind of cordage with you, because that can help build your shelter. And among do it, a lot of other things. But for now, going back uphill a little bit. So this has been a great day. As you can see on the trails, I'm hoping I hit a ridge and have some great views in just a few. Looks like I'm getting there. So I will, get back to you when I do. Oh boy, let's see. Let's just film for a second so you can see where I'm going without me blabbing. Alright. One cool thing about the mountains is just a lot of rocky areas. And some of them just look really, really cool. Alright. Film again in a little bit.